All right, y'all. Shalom.
How you doing, King? Got time for the Bible today? All right, man. Be safe out here. All right, y'all. Test, 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 test. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and sign in, right? We already short on time. Call Halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises be unto Yahweh. In the name of his son Yahweh Shai, we are San Antonio Masada, and we are back on the Riverwalk for another short lesson today. Right, to let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that we are the chosen people of the Most High God. And by chosen, I mean the only people that God has ever dealt with. Give me Amos 3:1 real quick. Right, because today's lesson is called, God has called the Israelites to be heroes. Right? One of the things that most people don't understand when they say they love God and Jesus is that the Most High God already chose a group of people to be the inheritance to give to his son. See, again, when people talk about the kingdom of heaven, most people don't understand the kingdom has already been set up. The kingdom is not just some type of Boy Scouts club where everybody just gets to show up if they like. Go ahead and get it.
Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So that's the milk of the scriptures that we always bring out. But it bears repeating. The Most High God is only dealing with one group of people. And that is something that people have a great deal of difficulty understanding. The fact that the Most High God has chosen and that all his counsel shall stand and he's going to do all his pleasure. People have immense difficulty understanding that God gets to choose. But for them at that, right? But today's lesson is called, God has called the Israelites to be heroes and gods, right? Can you get me Psalms 25? And we're going to start at verse 15 through 19. Right? Because we've been called to be heroes. And with that calling, there are certain things that we are supposed to be doing as Israelites. Let's hear about some of it.
Psalms chapter 25, verse 15. Mine eyes are very toward the Lord. Mine eyes are ever toward the Lord, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged. O bring thou me out of my distresses. Look upon my affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. Consider my enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred.
So this is David, right? David, if you wanted to think about a archetypical hero, can you look up that word for me, archetype? An archetypical hero. David fills it completely. When you think of somebody who is heroic, reliable, self-sacrificing, faithful, and not to mention able. Not only is David virtuous by way of his character, but he is extraordinary by way of his ability. Let's look up that word real quick.
An archetype is an original model, universal symbol, or idolized pattern, such as a character trait, behavior, or narrative plot, that serves as a universal template for copies or variations.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So King David would function as the very definition of what a hero could be defined as biblically. Another person that could be defined as a hero, and it's not to say that he is less than David, he is certainly greater, Yahushua. Now, you might not have seen Yahushua's heroic exploits yet, but you will. Right? When the Jews came to take him before he was crucified, he gave you a small glimpse. When they asked him who he was, they asked, are you Yahushua? He said, I am. And everybody fell back on the ground. See, they show you little glimpses of that in anime when the hero makes his debut. Everybody knows it. Yeah, aura farming. You know what I'm saying? Look that term up, aura farming for me. See, most people don't realize, man, when it comes to aura farming, the Israelites, we originated that, man. When you just sitting there letting people take it all in, that's because we are people likened unto the Most High God. And nobody aura farms more than God. Before a bad storm rolls in, what happens? All of nature goes quiet. A lot of times the wind dies down. It's eerily still, and you see the clouds and the turbulence on the horizon slowly making its approach. Its aura growing more and more ominous as it gets closer. Well, that's how God and his judgment works. We're going to go into that today. Go ahead and get it.
Aura farming is a term that refers to intentionally doing things to look cool, mysterious, or charismatic.
Flexing. See, again, what's coming to the earth, man, y'all don't understand. The Most High God is about to flex on the earth. And when Yahweh Shai finally appears, all the men of the earth are going to gaze upon him and begin to dread and to mourn. Because these heathen especially know that their subjugation is here. It's not going to be here anymore. Everybody has day zero in slavery. Most people don't understand. That's the day that Christ shows up. That's day zero. For anybody who's ex-military, you know what day zero is like. It is a very terrifying day. You don't know what's going on. People are yelling at you, telling you to go over here, go over there. Don't pick that up. Don't eat that. Don't do this. Don't sleep. Get up. Every order they can give you just to discombobulate and confuse you. Well, Yahushua is only going to be giving orders to his elect. And those orders are going to be to destroy the heathen. Plain and simple. And so you heathen, you're going to be wondering what's going on. Some of you are going to be a little bit more knowledgeable because brothers like us have been telling you for years. But see, now it's finally here. But brother, can you get me Psalms 82? And we're going to read the whole chapter, 1 through 8. Actually, no, I think we're a verse short, 1 through 8. Because see, again, like I said, the Most High God gave the Israelites a very rigid and permanent set of duties to do while we are here. Whether we are in power or we're on the bottom of society, we are to be virtuous in how we conduct ourselves. Let's read about it.
Psalms chapter 82, verse 1. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and the needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods.
Hold on, we're going to talk about it. Right? So we're supposed to be defending the poor, defending the fatherless, and defending the widows, not the wicked. And we're supposed to deliver the righteous out of the hands of the wicked. Well, what does a hero do? They defend the poor, they defend the widows, they deliver the righteous out of the hands of the wicked. That's one of the reasons why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you resonate so well with anime. You resonate with a good underdog hero story. Why do you think they keep telling the story of Clark Kent finding out that he's a Kryptonian and he has superpowers? Why do you think they keep telling that story over and over and over again, even when they might be 6 movies deep and they're like, we're going to reboot? That's because you have to tell the hero's journey. What builds the hero? Why are his principles the way that they are? It's more compelling, or I'll say equally compelling, as a villain's origin story. Because when you read the Bible, not only do you find out where heroes come from, but you also find out where the villains come from, namely Esau. And if you understand that he is the spiritual successor to Cain, it makes perfect sense why Esau wanted to kill his brother. Why the Edomites have undertaken a campaign, seemingly a one-nation campaign, to oppress, enslave, and to murder the Israelites. Because that's what their villainous origin story is. But in putting the Israelites in peril, you get to see the underdog overcome over and over again. You get to see their God deliver them from sure destruction over and over again. But while we're here, us as Israelites, we're supposed to be doing what a hero does. And that's pleading the cause of the righteous, delivering the righteous from the hands of the wicked, from the oppressor. What's an example of how we can apply that today? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men. Why are you not going to these ICE detention centers and delivering your people out of the hands of these evil centurions? It's because we've lost our plot. We've lost the duty that the Most High God gave to us, to be righteous and gallant. Can you look that word up for me? Gallant, Gallant, or gallant. Right? One of the things that I certainly agree with Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women on is that courage is lacking among our men. Most of our men don't understand what it means to stand up against oppression and wickedness. And as a result, we lack courage. Check out this definition.
Gallant means brave, heroic, or exceptionally polite and chivalrous.
So we don't have politeness that in high amounts anymore, mainly because our households are destroyed. But when it comes to our bravery, that is something that has largely vanished. And as a result, wicked runs rampant, and no one is here to curtail it, right? No one is here to give it a trim, so to speak. But let's finish out in song.
Psalms 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
So the Most High God said that we are gods. Gods meaning judges. Can you bring that word judge up, and or God with a lowercase g? Lowercase. Right, because it's very important to understand the distinction. Because if we are to be gods of this earth, then we need to know what we're supposed to be lords over. Right, and after this, we're going to go to 1 Corinthians 6. Because I know some people, they argue, they're like, well, who put y'all in charge? Y'all are saying that blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and the Israelites around the earth, y'all are above all people. Well, who put you above all people? Well, I'm going to show you. The Most High God put us above all people. Go ahead.
God in the Hebrew, H429, Elohim, means rulers, judges, divine ones. Keep going on all.
Right? So to be a God with a lowercase g means to be a ruler, divine one, or a judge. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 6, and let's just get to the point. Go to 2. Right? There's a reason why we have to go to this little tidbit of knowledge. Because the Israelites have been raised up to be judges in the earth. We are supposed to be God's hand among the people. Not only are we supposed to be the Most High God's authority by proxy, but we are also supposed to carry out his will and inculcate the nations on who their God is and how to serve him. To inculcate means to teach or to indoctrinate. Go ahead and get it. Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world, and if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Right? So the saints are going to judge the earth. Well, what's the judgment that's coming to the earth? Well, we know there's going to be a final judgment when the Son of God returns. And those of the Israelites who are found worthy to escape the second death, you're going to be raised up incorruptible. A literal hero, right? A judge among the people. We're going to get into that. Brother, can you get me Isaiah 13 and 1 through 4. right? See, it's important to understand what these terms mean, because if you don't understand what they mean, a lot of things in the Bible, it doesn't have any context. Go ahead and get it.
It's Isaiah chapter 13, verse 1.
Bring it out.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones from mine anger. Even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle.
So at the end, we found out that not only does the Most High God call together his mighty ones, his set apart ones, or his holy ones, or sanctified ones, but he calls together those who are going to engage in war or battle. That's one of the reasons why all the wars going on the planet right now, despite them saying peace and safety, peace never comes. And even when they sign a treaty, the ceasefires never last. It's because the Most High God is mustering the battle. He's the one he's stirring up war among the nations. And see, when it tells us to lift up the banner among the high mountains, that's talking about us going throughout these nations, right? Speaking the words of the Most High God and giving them the lowdown on the things that are to come. Yes, we are sent to the saints that are scattered among all the peoples of the earth, but that doesn't mean the heathen aren't going to be there to hear it. Hence why I was saying, when Yahushua finally returns, it's going to dawn on a lot of these heathen, like, damn, them niggas was telling the truth the whole time. And I could have gotten mercy had I just listened. It's going to be a small thing in that day for some of these white folks to go, you know what, we should have gave America back. We should have just went back to the caves. Can you imagine a judgment so severe that you retroactively want to just retcon your whole life? Whenever you get a chance, King, look up a word, retcon. R-E-T-C-O-N, retcon. It's a comic book term. Or it's a term in anything that requires like a narrative, right? If you're writing, say, anime, you're writing stories, write movies, scripts, whatever. To retcon something means to remove it and change it. R-E-T-C-O-N as a name. Right? See, when the final judgment comes upon the earth, you heathen who've been oppressing God's children, you're going to be trying to retcon your life. You're going to be saying to yourself, man, I should have just went back to the Caucasus Mountains. I should have went back to the land of Edom, which is in Jordan primarily. Go ahead and get it.
Retcon, a literary device in fiction where the established facts in a story are changed, ignored, or contradicted by a later installment.
So you're going to have a lot of these heathens saying, hey, I wasn't so oppressive after all. They're going to be trying to retcon what they've done, not understanding that it's been engraved with a pen of diamond. Yeah, that's actually a good point, right? Brother Armand is in the right spirit, because this white devil is already trying to do that here in America with critical race theory. See, now they want to say, oh yeah, you blacks, you came over here as servants. You could have been free, but you couldn't save enough coins to get you and your children out of slavery. Y'all were just too irresponsible and stupid.
Aren't they removing some of the museums and shit?
Yeah. Yeah, they're removing museums, they're tearing down slave cabins and memorials and things of that nature. They're trying to erase the fingerprint of slavery. Not understanding, too late. God already saw it.
They can erase all that, but the fact of the matter is we're still good.
And not to mention, you got to explain, why are these black people here in America? Why didn't you send them people back to where they came from? Why didn't you give them people back their history? Because as Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They covered the faces of the judges thereof. See, while they're in power, they're not going to just back down off of the theft and exploitation that they fully committed themselves onto. That's only going to come in regard to the judgment that they see coming toward them. See, they don't understand it now because they don't have the wisdom of God. Get me Psalms 147 real quick, last 2 verses. Right? Because the Most High God has only shown his statutes and his commandments and his wisdom to one nation, and that is to the Israelites.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So it's like we're saying, the reason why these heathen can't get a clue about what's happening biblically is because the Most High God is not sharing that knowledge with them. The best they can do is look at our videos and try to copy what we do. And you best believe they are copying it. When you look at a lot of these Edomite preachers trying to talk about eschatology or end-time prophecy, you see them bringing out our breakdowns. You see them bringing out our explanations, sometimes word for word. When they used to call us crazy, they called us a fringe group or a cult. Even though Paul, self-admitted, said that the Israelites, we are part of what is called a cult. He admitted, okay, you want to call it a cult? Sure is. And guess what? It's an exclusive cult. You can't join it. You got to be born into it. But see, there's going to come a time where the judgment is so plain to be seen that the average heathen who knows nothing spiritual is going to understand what's going on. And that's when you're going to see all faces gather blackness, as the Bible phrases it. Right? For your face to gather blackness means to be amazed or like in awe. Stupefied awe of what's coming to you. Right? Was that done? All praises. Can you get me, or on Isaiah, get me Micah 4 and 10 through 13. Right? Because what we're illustrating here is that the Most High God has amassed his troops. Right? The Most High God is gathering his mighty ones. Whether they be Israelites or they be heathen, right? Because the heathen have mighty men among them. But the reality is the Most High God is only concerned about his people. How you doing, gang? Got time for the Bible today? No? No time for the Bible? Y'all got time for Christ? Come on. You believe in Jesus, brother? What tribe you come from in the Bible, do you know? Where you from?
Florida.
Okay, is your dad a so-called Negro? You from the tribe of Judah. Right? You an Israelite. Keep God's commandments. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you God's chosen people. Keep God's commandments. Right? Because what we're talking about is God has chosen our people to be heroes. Give me 1 Peter 2 and 9 real quick, while they're in the area. Because when we call one another king and princess and all that, we're not just making it up or trying to make each other feel better. This is what God has called us.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
So we're not making it up. The Israelites are the kings and nobility on the planet. That's why no matter where you go, the place that you arrive at, they're obsessed with you. Even if they say they hate you, they still love your music, they still love your food, they still love your culture. See, there's a lot of controversy going on between so-called black people and Asians right now. Because the Asian man wants our culture, but he don't like black people. Have you seen them trying to steal R&B? It's sad. Because you can tell that they were taught how to do something, but there's no soul in it. They don't know where all the muse and the inspiration for that music comes from. But our people are scattered to those nations. They don't need an introductory course on what soul is. either got it or you don't. Perfect way to phrase it. We're the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, what is it good for? And see, that's why we have to remind our people, because there's going to come a time where you as an Israelite, you're going to be put to the test. And that test is, are you keeping God's commandments or not? See, most people think your salt is just your talent. Our salt as a people is keeping God's laws. Hence why if you have talent and don't keep God's laws, you often find yourself exploited by those who don't have the talent. But brother, give me that Micah 4 and 10 through 13. Oh, wow.
Micah chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
So we've already been sent forth into captivity, into Babylon. See, again, that's why understanding what has already come to pass and what has yet to come to pass is very important. Right? We have already been sent forth into Babylon to be devoured by our enemies. That part has largely transpired. But the part where we get delivered, that part is right up the street. And most of you Israelites are not aware of how close your deliverance really is. Hence why you think you have time to repent. But that's exactly why the Most High God sent his men out to these highways and byways to tell you to get your ass up, hurry up, and get it done.
Baking something in the oven, when it's almost done, you can start smelling it real good.
Yeah, it's like,
It's time.
hey man, Brother Amon's in the right spirit. If you're baking something, say you're baking a pizza at home, there comes a point where you know it's almost done. But if you take it out too early, the dough ain't quite done, might be a little cold in the middle. But if you wait until it's just right, you really can't tell the difference between when it's almost done and when it's done simply by being around the oven. You just have to wait. You have to wait to the fullness of time. And that's exactly what we're doing as the Israelites. And I have to take an aside to say it truly is an honor to try to wake our people up. Because the Most High God did not select everybody to do that. And how he selected us to drag us out of a worldly life, to bring us into his wisdom, that we keep his commandments, and that we teach our people to do likewise, is truly worthy of being retold. And that's just the thing that's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. Every Israelite that is found worthy to participate in the millennial reign of Yahushua, the first fruits, your story is going to be retold. That's why we aim to seek God 10 times harder, knowing that we went astray once upon a time. Go ahead and keep going.
Verse 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, let her be defiled, and let our eyes look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth.
So, as we said earlier in the book of Job, in the book of Joel, right? The Most High God is gathering, well, actually we haven't got that yet, we got Isaiah 13. Slot. As we said in Isaiah 13, the Most High God is gathering together those for war, whether it be heathens or Israelites. But we see here in the book of Micah chapter 4 that these nations are being gathered together to be completely crushed by the Israelites. That's why no matter how much you hear about peace, peace never lasts. Because it's like when you go on a roller coaster. When you finally reach the top, before the drop, there's that eerie pause, but once you go over the precipice, it's all downhill. Even if they put the brakes on, you still wouldn't stop. And that's exactly what keeps happening now. These heathen keep trying to apply the brakes. Hey, let's stop fighting each other. God's like, no. hey, let's stop all this nuclear weapon saber rattling. Like, why would you threaten your neighbor who lives right next to you with nuclear weapons knowing you're going to be in the fallout? But here's the thing, the Most High God is putting it in the hearts of these kings to continuously drum up their war chants, to continuously like provoke one another. That's all according to the Most High God. And if you read Proverbs 24:1, it tells you the heart of kings is in the hand of the Lord. Like the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So if you want to know why Donald Trump is acting crazy, ask God. It's in the Bible. If you want to know why Iran is operating as an enemy to America, try reading Ezekiel 38. It'll show you the relationship not only between Persia and so-called Babylon, but it'll show you the relationship of the Gog and Magog. Oh yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, when you look at Amos 9, it talks about the Israelites being sifted like corn in a sieve. But you gotta understand something. We have been like basically dispersed among the heathen. So when we get gathered, they gotta come with us. And they're part of that chaff that has to be burned away. The undesired material that comes with the kernel of the corn. You have to burn that away. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. But keep going, brother. Was that it? That was it. Cool. All praise.
Verse 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, let her be defiled, and let her eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor.
Just as we said, sheaves of what? Corn. To the threshing floor. How do you thresh corn? Well, you just beat it until the kernels come off the cob. And after you get done threshing all that corn, you then sift it in a sieve. And it separates the kernels from the chaff. And then you take the chaff, and you can grind it up and make fertilizer out of it. You can burn it. You can throw it in the wind if you want to. Because it's biodegradable. You got to know terms like that when the white man's in rulership. Because you got a lot of shit that's not biodegradable. All this plastic garbage that's piling up all over the earth. That's brought to you by the worst ruler in existence. Did you know, I wasn't even aware of this, because Ibrahim Traore, he just said that he's refusing to accept America's garbage over in Burkina Faso. So you've got provinces in Africa that have been basically processing America's garbage. I don't know if you've ever seen a city that processes garbage. You literally just have a city of trash. They have them in India as well. But see, Western society, when you look around, you think it's all pristine and clean. But that's because they ship their garbage somewhere else. And they say, hey, y'all handle it. And what they'll do is they'll pay the leader of a nation to accept a contract where they just keep getting inundated with garbage. He don't care because he ain't got to clean it. But see, that's what happens when you're dealing with the worst rulers that the earth has to offer. You believe in the Bible, sister? You do? Okay.
My grandma does.
Okay. Do y'all know what tribe y'all come from in the Bible before y'all go? Okay. Well, do you know how Jesus Christ was from the tribe of Judah? Did you know you have a tribe too? Are you Mexican by chance?
Half.
What's your dad? Is he Mexican?
He was born in Mexico, yeah.
Okay. So if you are Mexican,
Yeah.
okay, is he es Mexicano or a Spaniard? Both? What's his papa or his father, his grandpapa? I'm sorry? He's from here? Okay. Well, if you're native Hispanic, you would be from, or native Mexican, you'd be from the tribe of Issachar. Issachar means he who is hired. You know, in Puebla, Issachar de Matamoros? Okay, y'all have a city called Issachar de Matamoros. The Mexican man already knows that he's from the nation of Issachar. blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're the Israelites. We're the people of the Bible. Right? And we just want to tell you that our duty is to keep God's commandments. How many commandments are there?
You understand?
How many commandments?
How many commandments?
They say 10, right?
10?
Or I believe, what is it? 10?
Yes.
10? But it's 613. Right. Yeah, he's going to show you on here. No, it's yeah, that's all. But we're just going to let you know, keep the commandments. The commandments can be found in the first 5 books of the Bible, right? Genesis, Leviticus, Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Oh,
All right?
yeah.
Yeah, make sure you read that, okay, sister? And brother. All right? But if y'all have any questions about the Bible, we'll be here for a couple hours. Sorry?
I'm Cristiana. Soy Cristiana. I'm Cristiana.
Okay. But what does it mean? Well, yeah, that's good. I don't want to get too deep into it because
I'm reading for the Bible.
Yes, ma'am.
Reina Valera.
I'm sorry?
The Reina Valera.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is the KJV. Yeah. But can you say put it in Spanish? Yeah, English and Spanish, real quick. Yeah. Yeah, because it's important that our people know by blood you're an Israelite, right?
There we go.
How I get out of this? Translate.
What is it, verso?
If you have any other questions about the Bible, just let us know. All right?
No.
All right.
I'm fine.
Have a good one, all right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Right? And this is to my people, right? To the people who teach, you got phones in your pocket that can translate for you. There's no excuse. Make sure you are trying to wave down all your people and those who show an interest in the scriptures, because we have some of our people who don't look the part, right? Oh, you got your friends biting you up again? All praises. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for the Most High real quick. All praises. But brother, did we finish out in Micah? 13. Yeah, get 13.
Verse 13. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hooves brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth.
So we have to let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know, right, that you are the Israelites that the Bible talks about. Right? Those chosen people that went into slavery, the people that are called lazy no matter how hard they work, the people whose land gets stolen and nobody advocates for them. And just know you are who your father is, right? So if you're siring children with the heathen, unfortunately, your children are heathen as well. See, and it's a shame because our brothers and sisters are very seldom told these things, so they make decisions that ultimately are not to their benefit. Because I'm going to tell you, if you read Isaiah 63, when you see the return of Christ and how he behaves, Christ is not going to be catering to any heathen. As a matter of fact, he's going to be covered in the blood of a very particular group of heathens. The Edomites, or who you call so-called white people. See, again, that's why when people come up to us talking about, oh, you're preaching hate, what do you mean? because I can read it to you out the Bible. Give me Isaiah 63 real quick. You see, it's very important to understand that Christ isn't coming to bring peace to everybody. Because what about the people who are taking peace from the earth?
First hate on us for hundreds of years, and now they don't like we're coming back. It's Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winepress? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in my anger, and I would trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is mine. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
See, that's why we have to bring this out, because most people think Christ is coming to give hugs. Christ is coming to put a lot of people to death. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the Israelites, the only people Christ is coming to save. Now, there are Israelites scattered to other nations, but at the same time, though, they're not here right now. So why would I talk about it? For instance, do you know who the city people are? S-I-D-D-I-S. If not, don't worry about it. How about Melanesian people, right? It's even in the name. Melan meaning black, or meles, a prefix. Now, we just had 2 instances of sisters walk by with their heathen husbands. But here's the thing, though. When you're a so-called white man, you don't have to deliver on anything for our sisters to run after you. You got black, Hispanic, Native Indian women talking about, hey, man, I need a man who provides. Get with a white man, and she's paying for everything. She's the only one working. I need a man who can protect me. Get with a so-called white man. He's weak and docile while she's fighting all the battles. See, again, I wish I were making it up. Because when it comes to her own people, she has a standard that's to the damn moon. But when it comes to the heathen, all of a sudden, that's when everything is negotiable. That's when she just wants to have good conversation. But see, that's why we have to let our people know the Most High God called you to be a hero, man. He called you to endure affliction. Give me Isaiah 48:10. We've been called to endure affliction in the furnace of affliction. Because what other group of people can survive what we have been through? All the slaveries that we've been through, all the brutality. See, that's why, again, knowing your history is very important. And reading books is where you're going to find that history, starting with the Bible.
It's Isaiah chapter 48, verse 10.
Bring it out.
Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
So the Most High God has refined the Israelites, right, through the furnace of affliction. Give me Malachi 3. And give me verse 1. And that's the spirit I turn right to, man. Man.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts.
Keep going.
But who may abide the day of his coming, and who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness.
Right? So this is talking about the purification of Levi. But this is talking about Yahushua doing that. We have to understand, Yahushua is coming to purify all the tribes. But you definitely have to start with the sons of Levi. Why is that? Because from them go forth the law. Yeah, hey man, it is what it is. At this point, man, this message has been going out. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you're supposed to be going after your own people, man. All the things going on the earth, man, and we still trying to make marriages with the sons of our slave masters, with the daughters of our slave masters. You should be asking yourself, what can this person do for me and my people? Especially while they are standing on the necks of your people. But see, more times than not, we are not taught right when we are children, so we don't believe we have a duty to our people. How you doing, King? You believe in the Bible? What tribe you come from in it? Do you know?
Okay.
What tribe do you come from in the Bible? Do you know?
No.
No, I can tell you real quick. Are you so-called black? Nigerian? What are you?
Jamaican.
I'm sorry? Jamaican? You're from the tribe of Benjamin, the wolf.
Oh.
You're an Israelite, King. What you looking for?
I was just walking down the street.
Okay, just make sure you're not lost, King. But keep God's commandments, man. See, and most people don't realize the tribe of Benjamin is God's favorite tribe.
Right.
It's like the little brother that the parents love the most. Everybody wonder why our brothers from Jamaica get to sit on that little island and don't know horrendous hurricanes come their way. And when the hurricanes come and they, like that Category 5 that looked all ugly and it was just a lot of bluster. It finally hit and the Most High God was like, ugh, barely tapped them with it. Because when have you heard of casualties from Jamaica? I'll wait. As a matter of fact, I haven't heard of one person who died of that in that Category 5 hurricane. Now, I'm not saying that nobody got put to death or judged, but the Most High God took it upon himself to remain true and faithful. Right? Give me that in Malachi 3. I believe it's not 8, what is it? 3 and 6. Because see, when the Most High God said that Benjamin was his favorite, he's not changing from that. Let's get it.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob, I are not consumed.
So not only are Israelites God's chosen people, but of the Israelites, the children of Benjamin, those from the Caribbean, Jamaicans, Barbadians, those are God's literal favorite people. If the Most High God was likened unto a father surrounded by his kids, Benjamin would be that one kid who's always just right next to dad. Sitting on the shoulder. Or when your dad is working on something, the favorite kid is sitting there handing him tools. He's always in his dad's shadow, just right behind him. But who did the Most High God leave for a light for Judah when the kingdom split? Benjamin. See, again, that's why understanding what's going on in the Bible is very important. There's rank and file and order to all of this. The Most High God gave who he holds in precious esteem, I'll put it that way. He gave his most precious tribe to Judah to be a light for them in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, and actually, it's ironic that you say that, King, because that's exactly what Benjamin is supposed to do. But see, we have to, as long as we're talking about God's favorite, we need to talk about God's worst enemy and most unfavored people, the so-called Edomites, who you call so-called white people.
Right.
The people that God hates the most. Give me Malachi 1 and 4. See, just as much as God has a favorite, God has people that he absolutely despises. And when you look at who does the most child rape, bestiality, pedophilia, none other than the so-called white man, worthy of being detested. Go ahead and get it.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Now, you good, King? See, again, that's why it's important to know these things, because everybody talks about how they love God. But if I ask you, what's God's favorite people? What's God's favorite animal? Did you know that's all in the Bible? What's God's favorite plant? What's his favorite land? or his favorite river. All of these things are in the Bible. So if you're telling me that you serve God and you love him with every fiber of your being, knowing what he loves and what he hates, that's the least of your duties. That's like saying you love your parents, but you don't know what your parents expect of you. How does that work? How do you love something that you have no real affiliation with? And that's exactly why we have to tell our people, you have nothing to gain from trying to make covenants and marriages with the sons and daughters of our slave masters. Especially when they're the furthest thing from God that the Bible illustrates in words. Hebrews 12 and 16 being paramount among the scriptures that we bring out. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And when afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he sought it carefully with tears. Got to add that last part on too. Just because the Most High God despises you, it doesn't mean he don't give you a chance. Can you imagine being given the kingdom of heaven and you trade it away for a Happy Meal? Didn't even get the large size. And Esau ate, and he got up and left and despised his birthright. Don't believe me? Read Genesis 25. But we're going to keep going on this lesson. Can you get me Micah 6 and 6 through 9? Right? Because, actually, I'm sorry, Salakia. That's why things are backward. Yeah, still give me Micah 6 and 6 through 9. Screw it. I was supposed to switch a couple scriptures.
Micah chapter 6, verse 6. Wherewith shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, or with 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my people for the sin of my soul?
We don't get that last word. So this is postulating a hypothetical question. How am I supposed to come and serve God? Am I supposed to have a sacrifice for him? Am I supposed to give him my firstborn son? What am I supposed to do in order to serve God? Well, let's see what the response is. And again, for everybody talking about they love God so much, you should know what God expects of you. Here it is. 3.
Verse 8. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee? But to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. The Lord's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it?
So the Most High God has his men out here crying aloud and sparing not and lifting up their voices like trumpets. This is another verse here in the Bible that you can reference if people are asking you why you're teaching what you're doing. Right? See, the Most High God is crying through his servants and trying to bring his people back into the wisdom of their heritage. And see, the man of understanding, though they might not know everything in the Bible, a man of understanding is going to hear these words and give ear to it. They're going to give strong consideration because they understand that the wisdom of the scriptures is something precious and definitely something to be studied. Right? But brother, can you give me Psalms 27 and 1 through 5? That's what people coming up over. Right? Because as Israelites, we've been assailed on all sides. That's why when we ask people, do you believe in God? I think it's a very pertinent question to ask in light of what we've had. Brother and sister, y'all believe in the Bible? The house says blacks, Hispanics, I wasn't talking to you, by the way, but blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, y'all are God's chosen, right? Y'all the Israelites. And it's easy to pretend like you don't see somebody until ICE show up and start throwing your kids in prison. And for you Mexican folk who ain't been paying attention, they took 450,000 of your children, and they only returned 125,000 of them. So what happened to the other 325,000? But you don't care the same way you don't care about why God did it to you. See, again, for all y'all talking about you love Jesus Christos, you love Dios, you know nothing about what God stands for or what he has said. And as a result, you suffer. Because the scourges are sent for correction or for amendment. That's why King David made supplication unto the Lord, saying, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. And who's more wicked than the so-called white man?
Trying to figure that number. That sounds almost about like 1/3 of them.
Hey,
If that is, that's crazy.
hey man, the Bible lets you know 2/3 go down. Again, there's rank and order to this. That's why people be thinking, man, Paul aren't talking to nobody. We've been ordered to preach to the wind if we have to. See, because somebody who's far, far away might hear this and be a man or woman of understanding. And they'll draw near unto the wisdom that's coming from this little spot right here. But to those of y'all who lack wisdom, y'all think this is madness. And you know what? Good. You're exactly who I don't want to talk to. Keep walking. To you naysayers and scoffers, keep walking. Because in light of everything going on the planet, you shouldn't be scoffing anymore. You should be relatively sure that there is a God who exists in light of what's going on the planet. Instead, you have hard-headed ass Israelites still trying to think like they're oppressed, despite the Most High God literally kicking them dead in their ass. And they still don't get it. But, brother, can you get me...
Psalms 27, 1 through
Yeah, you got it.
1 through 6, 1 through 5. Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my life and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat of my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after.
So one of the things that King David is making supplication unto the Lord for is he's making supplication unto the Lord in light of his enemies assailing him. Can you get that word assailed? A-S-S-A-I-L-E-D. Assailed. Right? It's very important that you Israelites understand that you have assailants around you. Those that intend to do you harm, whether it be grievous harm or what you perceive to be superficial harm. Go ahead and get it.
To assail means to attack violently, criticize harshly, or be overwhelmed by sudden intense feelings or physical sensations.
So we have been attacked violently as a people. See, again, and what we were talking about earlier with ICE kidnapping 450,000 so-called Native Hispanic children. And see, most people don't realize when they kidnapped those kids, they adopted them out. And the Department of Homeland Security, they did follow-up checks with a lot of those kids. That's how they got that figure of 125,000 that they recovered. The other over 325,000 don't even know where they're at. See, and that's why we have to tell our people, you are being assailed by your enemies. When they lock our people in prisons by the millions, that's the work of an assailant. See, but notice that even King David called upon the Most High God to be delivered from his enemies. King David had put all of his enemies in subjection, so much so that the earth was at rest for 40 years under Solomon, his son. See, we have to keep this in mind. Even David in his seat of power, with the heathen in subjection, even David cried unto God for deliverance. Because King David makes it known throughout the book of Psalms, it's not by might or by a multitude that one is delivered. It's by the will of the Most High God. But brother, can you get... Yeah, let's keep going.
Verse 4. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in this time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock.
So the Most High God is going to defend his people. We're going to get the next verse, right? And there's a reason why the Most High God has to set his people upon a pedestal or upon a rock so that they can be properly defended. Imagine if you had say you had a bunch of puppies and they're all just running around you. You pick one up and you put it in your lap. Well, you put that puppy in a elevated position where it's separated from the rest. And it's being protected by you. That's exactly what the Most High God is doing with the Israelites. But here's why. Let's get the next verse.
Verse 6. And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord.
So we are being elevated and safeguarded by the Most High God so that we can properly praise the Most High God and keep his commandments. When you read Luke 1 and 68 on down, what is the primary reason why the Israelites are being delivered? So that we can serve our God without anybody hindering us. See, again, that's why we say to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you need to separate from your enemy, the so-called white man, and come back to your people. Because when you want to talk about a godless people, they are paramount among them. But brother, can you get me, let's go to 11 through 14. All praise.
Psalms chapter 27, verse 11. Teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in a plain path because of my enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord.
So here's King David continuing in his supplication in Psalm, saying to the Most High God to teach him of God's ways, to receive wisdom of the Lord, that he might be kept in the midst of his enemies. One of the reasons why our people continuously move wrongly while being persecuted by our enemies is because we lack the wisdom of God. The same wisdom that Yahushua or Christ spoke about when he said, agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way. It's not to say that they are better than you or they're over you, but the Most High God has placed you in subjection to them for a short season. And as a result, you have to move with wisdom, lest you find yourself to fight against God. Yeah, and here's the thing. All you got to do is just go online, go on TikTok or any of these social media platforms. You got the white man waging a non-stop campaign to try to minimize our impact worldwide. Meanwhile, so-called black people are remembering who they are from a historical perspective worldwide. I've been seeing more and more posts about us being in Asia during its most formative years, during the Tang Dynasty in China, the Qing Dynasty in China, during the feudal period of Japan, where they had the samurai and the shogun. Samurai like Yusuke, the black samurai, or Sakonoye Tamoromaru. I've seen more and more of our people talking about that. I need to get his name. There was a king, a city king. As a matter of fact, look up Siddis, King of India. See, most people don't understand that Israelites brought all these different nations into an age of enlightenment. Siddis, city, or cities. King of Persia. And see, and the reason why you have to get all these terms right, if you use the word India, well, the nation of India only exists because the British colonized it. Does it? Yeah, do all. I want a synopsis and we'll get an image. There you go. Go ahead and read that.
You are likely referring to Smirtis, also known by his Persian name, Bardia, who was a famous king of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. He was the younger son of Cyrus the Great and the brother of Cambyses II.
So the cities are the so-called Bantu descendant peoples who are Israelites over in India. See, that's why, again, this information is very important. Because, see, most of our people, they don't have a clue who they are. Most of our people don't understand that you have been in every single nation on the planet. See, that even includes so-called Russia and Eastern Europe, right? That's why you have the Bering Strait theory of the natives going from the North American landmass from Alaska all the way over to Russia. Right? But you had our people who were going to and fro from the landmass of what you call today Russia and Siberia. And you have the Afro-Abkhazians. See, most people don't realize they call them Black Russians today, but they call them Afro-Abkhazians. And then I saw this video. This brother, he brought out images of the armor that our brothers, Northern Kingdom wore in Samaria when they were taken into slavery to the Assyrians. Well, when you look at the word samurai, what does it seem to go back to? Samaria. And the armor looks identical. So it's not unconscionable, right, that we were in those lands serving as the military force while we were under, subjection to these heathens. See, that's why, give me Jeremiah 51 and 19 real quick. See, that's why we have to tell people, man, we are the ones who are the lifeblood of this planet. And the more you learn about history, the more you get face to face with the fact that we are that lifeblood. We're the ones who keep the heart of the world beating. And that's exactly the way the Most High God designed this system. Wait.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Right? So the Israelites are the rod of God's inheritance. We are the formers of all things. That's why no matter where you look, it's the Israelites who brought nations into their age of enlightenment. See, and it's a shame that we depart so readily from our heritage. Because if it had not been for the Lord, we wouldn't be here. We would have been swallowed up by our enemies that have endeavored to destroy us. Right? It's like when you go over the land of India, you've got the city people, you've got the Dalit people. They get treated like absolute garbage. See, most people don't even realize, like, when you look at track and field, you ever wonder where are the Indians in track and field? You know why they don't participate in track and field? The people who are capable of athletic and Olympic performance, they won't even let them perform. Because they don't want to be known by their slaves. There's an entire documentary on YouTube right now talking about the city and the Dalits they literally train for the Olympics every year. They never get to go. And these are Jakes that are more than capable of being our equal over here. And you remember that group of people that you looked up called the Chagonians or Chagians? It's a little island off the east coast of Africa where they were ferrying our people to and from India via the Indian Ocean slave trade. So you've got people who look like they're East Indian, but they big and swole like black men in America. Because you can't mute that blood, the strength of our people. And if you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, all of us have heard it. You go to the gym for 2 days, you already showing improvement. Your heathen friends going, man, you just got to the gym, man. Why you already surpassing me? I used to not understand when I was a child, but now that I'm a man, I know damn well it's because I'm an Israelite. I'm not familiar with it. That's that different music. The raps. Right? But see, it's important to know these things. Because your history, the thumb doing well.
Good.
You about to go out and do some preaching?
We're walking back to the car to get our food.
Okay.
Yeah. How's it going today?
It's going well.
Beautiful day, right?
That's all right. I like the wind right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Keeps it a little cooler.
Oh yeah. You got water for him?
Yeah, he just took a dunk in the waiting pool over there, so yeah, he just got water.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's Kendrick Lamar talking about I got loyalty and royalty inside my DNA. But see, people wonder where Kendrick get all that stuff from. When he keeps talking about we're royalty, he get it from the Bible. That's why it's important, again, to know your history. One of the things that we were talking about is how all these different heathens went through ages of enlightenment. But when you look at their age of enlightenment, who was in rulership? We were. We just brought out a city, or SIDDI, a city king in India. The cities are the Israelites who were taken via the Indian Ocean slave trade through India, Persia, and all that. Right? What was his name one more time? It's Smited, something like that. Yeah, Smyrtis, or Baradia, right? But these are important figures so that we know our history. Let's move, right? Brother, can you get me... We were in Psalms 27, right? Or did we go to Proverbs? Oh, yeah. Con. Get me a Proverbs 18 and 10. Right? Because the Most High God said the righteous, he is a strong tower. And the righteous runneth into it and are safe. That's why we have to tell our people, right? Here in America, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you've been oppressed for 500 years. But when have you tried running into the strong tower known as God? Go ahead and get it.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
Did y'all sisters know that? That God is a strong tower and the righteous run to it and are safe? Well, how are you righteous in the eyes of God? Do you know, sister? Did you know keeping God's commandments makes you righteous? Commandments like not putting a heathen over you and not voting for them, not removing your neighbor's landmark, not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. So what if you're unrighteous and you run to God? And he closed the door in your face. See, again, I know there's a good chance they ain't listening, but I know when things go sideways. Help! God, where you at? Give me Zechariah 7 and 13 real quick. See, when you read the Old Testament and the New Testament, who do you think was preaching the word of God? The same men you walk by on these corners preaching the word today. We doing the same thing that we were doing back then. If you don't know about regeneration, you behind the 8 ball. You need to catch up. But the Most High God is crying out to our people via all these men on these corners. To those of y'all who don't listen, expect this in return when you call on God.
Zechariah chapter 7, verse 13. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, said the Lord of hosts.
Give me Judges 10 and 14 and 15. So, the way the Most High God sends people to cry out to you, if you don't listen, it's going to be the same way. When you cry out to him, he's going to turn his face from you. You're going to have to take on whatever insurmountable odds by yourself. See, again, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all have faced enough opposition, crushing opposition. But very seldom do you call upon your God. As a matter of fact, a lot of times you want to serve another God. Here's what God has to say to you idol worshipers out there. 10 and 14 through, yeah, chapter 10, slide. Yeah.
This is Judges chapter 10, verse 14. Go and cry unto gods. Go and cry unto the gods. Verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And the children of Israel said unto the Lord,
That's all we know.
So if you are serving other gods, say you serve the God of the Bible, but you don't keep his commandments. That's not what the God of the Bible said. And last time I checked, the scriptures are not for any private interpretation. So if you come to worship God, how are you instructed to worship God by Christ? In spirit and in truth. Well, what's the truth? God's commandments, God's wisdom. So if you call yourself worshiping so-called Yahweh, or whose real name is Yahweh, and you plan to do it your own way, you might as well just go be in the world, do your own thing. I don't care. You got it, brother. Keep going. Yeah, buddy.
To the law and to the testimony.
Yep.
Right?
If there be no light in, or if they, how's it going?
If they speak
Yeah, get
not,
that.
If they speak not according to this doctrine, there is no light in them.
There's no light in it.
Something.
Yeah. You got it. You got it, Gehazi.
Gehazi.
Did you read about him in the Bible?
Gehazi?
Gehazi.
Don't think I did.
The person who was basically he was like the Aaron to Moses. He was like the Aaron to say what was his name? Elisha. He was Elisha's understudy. He was cursed with leprosy. I've said this to you like 3 times. Look him up, man.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, look it up right now.
How do you spell it?
I believe it's Gehazi, Gehazi. Because he got cursed with leprosy, and those curses get passed down to your children. Right? See, again, that's why we have to keep going over these things, man. Because the Israelites, man, it's a shame, man. You got a whole group of sisters just walking around, don't care about the Bible.
Is it from 2 Kings?
Yes. That would be him.
He served as a personal attendant to the prophet Elijah.
Yeah, get that real quick.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
He served as a personal attendant to the prophet Elijah.
Yeah.
So Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
So if they're not speaking according to the wisdom of God, that's because there's no wisdom in them. That's why when our people walk by talking about they love God and all that, man, if you love God, especially as a so-called black woman, you would not be in immodest apparel or scantily clad. Yeah, go ahead and get it.
Verse 21, and they shall pass through it, hardly bestead and hungry, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their God and look upward.
Didn't even intend to get that, but it reinforces the message. When tribulation comes, you're going to curse your idols. You're going to curse the people that you vainly look for to help you. As a matter of fact, go to Lamentations. Let's go to Lamentations real quick. Right? Because we actually get into the lesson quicker than I thought we would. Right? Give me Lamentations chapter 4. And 17.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes are yet veiled for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Yeah, we're going to get it. Yeah, just hold it. So, we are seeking after our oppressor to save us. Right? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, when have we ever just said, you know what? Let's turn back, keep the laws of God, and do our best to serve our God no matter what. We'll let God do the rest. We've never done that. We've tried marching. We've tried voting. We've tried laying our bodies down in the streets. We've tried sitting in restaurants, having cops beat us upside the head, having dogs chew us up. We've tried everything except for just turning back to God. And as a result, the Most High God puts it in the heart of our enemies to oppress us all the more. Because if you were meant to get your own freedom and your own redemption, you'd have got it by now. The Most High God is reminding you resoundingly. Look up that word, resoundingly. Right? And that's something I do a lot now. Right? I pull words just so that anybody who's listening or looking, you vividly and artistically, right? Because the Bible is full of metaphors, right?
Resoundingly means in a complete, emphatic, or overwhelming manner.
So the Most High God has emphatically reached out to his people, whether it be by the prophets. He reaches out to correct us by the people who oppress us. But see, more times than not, we don't have the wisdom to understand that the Most High God is correcting us. So if you won't be taught to receive correctness, then you just got to go through the curses to receive correctness. Your choice. But, brother, can you get me Psalms 33 and 12 through 19? Because again, the Most High God is a strong tower unto the righteous. And those of us who come to serve the Most High God in spirit and in truth, we have access to run into that tower and be safe. But those of us who come to serve God according to our own understanding, when you run into that tower, the Most High God closes the door on you. Because again, how are you righteous without keeping God's commandments? When righteousness, according to God, Deuteronomy 6 and 25, is keeping his commandments. Go ahead and get it.
Psalms chapter 33, verse 12.
Bring it out.
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he hath chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looketh from heaven, he beholdeth all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation, he looketh upon all the inhabitants of the earth. He fashioneth their hearts alike. He considereth all their works. There is no king saved by the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he be delivered any by his great strength.
So it's as I said earlier, it's not by the strength of a man's back or his arm, or by the multitude of soldiers or guards that a man is either saved or delivered. The Most High God is letting it be known, carnal things will not preserve you. But what will save you? Let's get the answer.
Verse 18, behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him. Upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine.
So not only to deliver you from death, but to sustain you during a famine. Now, isn't it something that everybody wants to run away from the scriptures, not understanding that famine's basically here? You're going to have a lot of people out here calling on God, not understanding that if you had just kept God's commandments, the Most High God would order your steps aright so you could be kept alive. A lot of people are not going to understand who God really is until they have to starve to death. As a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 65. One of my favorite pericopes to read in the scriptures. And start at 11. And we're going to read down through 15.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forgot my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number.
So when it says to that truth, that's talking about a pagan god our people used to worship that they ironically named Gad. They named him Truth. That's the same as worshiping Ares, the god of war. And then when it said that they offered a drink to that number, it's a god called Meni, M-E-N-I, a god of fortune, right? So you have to understand, our people have always been worshiping pagan idols. This word is to the people who forsake the Lord and go elsewhere to worship another god. This is what God has in store for them.
Verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name.
I say it all the time. God ain't playing. God ain't playing. God said, I will slay thee. Can you imagine you at home, you about to eat dinner, and you get a call from somebody, and they said, hey, I've got a contract, and I'm coming to kill you. You'd probably be pretty scared. And then they begin to describe things in your house. Your coffee table is shaped like this, and it's located in this room. Your furniture looks like this. You have a brother and a sister. You got a wife and 2 children. You'd be like, yo, who is this? You'd be doing everything in your power to deliver yourself from that death sentence, from an assailant that you know is coming, but you don't know when, you don't know what they look like, you don't know how they're going to deliver that judgment. Well, the Most High God is letting you know perfectly who he is through his wisdom of the scriptures. And he's making his threat open. He's going to slay the wicked. He's going to slay them with the sword and with hunger, with teeth of devouring beasts, and with fire. As a matter of fact, let's go to Sirach real quick. We're going to prove that. Sirach 38. See, that's why I always try to tell people, man, you got to get rid of teddy bear Jesus. Because Christ is coming back to shed blood on his own. He's got the Edomites to slay. Read Isaiah 63. It's like watching a montage of bloodshed. You get to see Christ returning from Edom, covered in blood. But go to, as a matter of fact, give me a Sirach 40 and start at 9 and read down through
Sirach chapter 40, verse 9. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood.
So let's go over that list again. Death, bloodshed, strife, sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. Right? All of these things were created for the wicked. See, so if the Most High God is making it known that he plans to slay the wicked, why not be righteous? Because if I ask, how are you righteous in the eyes of God? Does anybody know? I'll give you $100 if you know. See, in this kingdom, a lot of people, they ignore the scriptures until you put some money on it. Hey, free Beyonce tickets. How about that? I don't know if they like Beyonce. Probably not. She old now. Oh, yeah, Cardi B, she old. Yeah, she ain't doing it. And here's the thing. You notice these careers of these musicians get shorter and shorter because they're using less and less talent. So don't nobody care about them. But see, we're trying to tell our people, man, you could come over here and buy milk and honey without money. See, that's what the wisdom of the scriptures is likened onto. See, most people don't understand. When you reside in a desert area and you don't have a refrigerator, getting fresh milk, that's difficult. That's a highly perishable item. When it comes to honey, you have to go forage that. And see, most people don't know, back in biblical times, it wasn't just a matter of you going to the grocery store and getting whatever honey suits your fancy. You had to go out into the woods and search for a bee colony. And then you had to somehow get into the nest without getting put to death by getting stung by the whole hive. So to come across something like honey, that was a fine treasure to somebody who might have a sweet tooth. Like, you can come here and get that without money from us. All we need is your time and your ear. Uh-oh. What's up, man? Okay, yeah, we're fine. Nothing's going on. Somebody called? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we're just reading the Bible.
Yeah, we haven't really interacted with nobody.
Okay. Well, be safe, man.
Appreciate it. That's crazy. We ain't interacted with nobody.
Hey, no, but when people hear us talking about what's going to happen to the so-called white man going into slavery, see, you got to understand now, it's not a matter of, oh, I'm going to call the cops to get you killed. They're trying to close this Bible up. See, again, even if those, for some reason, those police officers they slew both of us. Most High God could take the rocks of this path and raise them up for profit. And see, and I'm going to tell you, this is to my camera. So you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians who are trying to find a way to fight back against your enemy, balling a fist and getting a weapon is not the way. Just read the Bible. We have done nothing but read the Bible, and they still called the cops. Not understanding that we're commandment keepers over here. We have nothing to worry about. Nothing. But here's the thing. Is it against the law to be disrespectful? No, it isn't. When the white man walks by us and calls us a nigger, we can't call the cops for that. And see, my whole deal is after 500 years of raping, robbing, and enslaving the earth, now all of a sudden words offend you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the constant rape of children. That doesn't offend anybody. It's not the rampant enslavement and imprisonment of black and Hispanic men. That doesn't offend anybody. But reading the Bible sure the fuck does, for some reason. I wonder why. But when you're talking about the most wicked kingdom on the planet, then it shouldn't surprise you. Because didn't the Bible tell you that friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High? It is. So the closer you get to God, the more people are going to hate you. Straight up. How you doing, sister and brother? Y'all got time for the Bible today?
No, we're in a rush right now.
Okay. Well, when you pray to God, he's going to say, I'm in a rush. I know. Thank you. See, again, and here's the thing. When have you ever seen two black men get delivered from the police? But it happens to us time and time and time and time again. Why? Because we're doing what God told us. Give me Acts 5 real quick. And I believe start at verse 38, but let me see it first. Because see, if the Most High God had ordained something, who can disannul it? No one. And see, again, for all these heathen who walk by like this isn't affecting them, it's cutting them to the heart. Yeah, there it is. As a matter of fact, go up a verse first. Yeah, just read it.
Acts chapter 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
Keep going.
But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest he haply ye be found even to fight against God.
Right? Y'all got time for the Bible today?
I'm pregnant, so I'm hungry.
Okay.
I would definitely have time for the Lord.
Okay. Just know if y'all are black and Hispanic, just know y'all are Israelites. Keep God's laws. Right? So that when you call upon God, he can see you as a righteous servant and defend you. You ever been in a situation you know you call on God and nothing happens? Everybody treats you like you the second coming of Hitler. But see, the Most High God, when your ways please the Lord, he maketh your enemies to be at peace with you. That's why we keep trying to tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians you need to stop and hear this word so you can learn how to serve God. Because God knows you call upon him enough. See, our people will always call upon God, but we will never stop to hear what God requires of them. Because if somebody can come up here and tell me what God requires of them, I will give you $50. Straight up. Israelite anyway. I gotta put that caveat in there. That's straight.
Is it to love mercy and justice? And am I on the right track there?
No.
No?
No.
To keep God's, fear God and keep God's commandments?
You've heard it enough from us. That's it.
This is the whole duty of God in Ecclesiastes?
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Your whole duty is to fear God and keep his commandments. That's it. But if you think there's only 10 commandments, how can you keep them? See, most people don't understand. There's 613. But if you think that you're going to walk around with just 10 of the commandments and get it all right, you're not going to.
Give us 10 fingers to count them off.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though. If you truly understand the Ten Commandments, basically the rest of the law hinges on it, right? Because if you love your own people, you're not going to set a heathen over your people. The same heathens that put you in slavery. Your dog's got the right idea. Come and get this word. Look at him. He's fighting. He like, come on, get the word. You can't fight her, Pooch. You can't fight her. We've talked to you before. We told you to keep the commandments. Okay, well, let's start anew. Okay, so what are you supposed to be doing as an Israelite? As a servant of God. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're God, can you make the white man stop killing us, please, God?
It's not about that. It's like everybody's word, your word, your word, is only one word, and that is God. And we all together are one, and that's what it means. It doesn't mean necessarily that I'm saying like, oh, I'm God, like that. But in your own way, everybody is God.
So the people who put us in slavery, are they God too?
No, the people that dwell on the path and get over it. I'm sorry.
Give me Ecclesiastes 3:15.
And another thing is that everybody has a conscience, and some people just don't know how to use it. And some people are raised a certain way where they're not taught right from wrong, and they don't know any better. A lot of people say it's for disrespect, and this and that, but it's not necessarily disrespect because they don't know that they're being disrespectful. They don't bring a house.
That's not what Isaiah 10 says.
If it's not yours,
Go ahead and read it.
I'm not hearing that. Take care of it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And God requires that which is past.
We should forget,
And God requireth that which is past.
or we should move on.
And God requireth that which is past.
I'm not war. If
Who are you at war with?
right now, eBay, Edmonton,
Yeah, we'll be here. It sounds like you just need to read the Bible. Anyway, give me and there thou shalt thy foot shall find no ease. I'm 41, so you're not way older than me. Right, okay. Anyway, have a good one. Yeah, both of us put together. It's just madness and stupidity. It's a shame. Your dog has more sense than you. It's a shame. I'm a GM4 with Rolex. Other people don't know you exist. For real, you named all these damn companies. They don't know your ass exists. Damn idiot. See, and again, that's the madness that our people have been spitting with. Walked up talking about she's God. Really? But then when you ask her to do something, all of a sudden now we're all God. Oh, okay. So being God is a community project, apparently. Thanks. Didn't know that. Go ahead and get it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou found no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
So, a trembling heart, a failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. All three right there.
All the things upon itself is going to war with entities that don't give a shit about.
And here's the thing. Most people don't realize, even if you win a court case against some of these companies, they set aside money every year for people who somehow charge up the hill and get justified in court and get a settlement. And then they hassle and harangue you for the rest of your life. And we did talk to her before. She said the same crazy shit the other time. See, again, that's why the Most High God is sending men to preach to you straight out of the scriptures. Because if we were left up to people like that to try to get out of slavery and out of bondage, we would never get out. They're out here literally chasing shadows. Things that have no substance, no meaning whatsoever. And again, I cannot get over how you walk up saying you're God, and then all of a sudden God becomes a group project. The moment you get put to the test. Because if you ask me, well, how is God going to get us out of slavery? I can show you in the Bible. That's a good question, right? If you're supposed to be God, how are people robbing you blind so often? If that woman was God, you're a shitty God. Straight up. Who are you, the God of misplaced funds? Like, shit, like, come on, man. Sometimes these jokes write themselves, man. Like, our people just, they step up to humiliate themselves. It's stupid. And see, and this is why we say all the time, this is why our heathen adversaries, they laugh at us. Because we're trying to find a way out of bondage when God already illuminated the path out of it. And that is to keep his commandments. The Most High God said, as soon as you get it right, I'm going to fight for you, and you're going to hold your peace. He's going to do all the heavy lifting. Hell, he's already started. When you look at the people who have the most trouble conceiving children, none other than the white man is the most heavily afflicted. But who's the one who opens the matrix and allows life to come forth into the world? God. So if the Most High God closes the womb, guess what? You can't have kids. I don't care if you're slinging pipe like Wesley pipes. It ain't gonna work. But see, when you're fighting against God, that's what happens. Right? You do nothing but suffer, and you're trying to navigate that landscape of hurdles and pratfalls. Look up that word pratfall for me. P-R-A-T-T-F-A-L-L. Pratfall. I think it's 2 T. But we try to navigate all these different things by our own knowledge, and we do nothing but suffer. You got it? All praise. Let's have the phone from the future.
Sometimes it has to dial in the past.
Okay, I got you.
A pratfall is a fall onto your buttocks, often done intentionally for comedic effect in slapstick comedy.
So when we're trying to avoid all these damn hurdles and these hindrances, right, that trip us up, a lot of times it's a pratfall because it's not something that you shouldn't see coming, and it's not something that you were warned about. See, that's exactly why the Most High God likens us to sottish children, or stupid children, right? Because we've been given forewarning about everything that's coming upon us, and we still are trying to figure out what's going on around us. Still trying to figure a way out. When the Most High God made it readily apparent how to circumnavigate this whole system full of traps and snares and serpents. You got it, King. Keep going. All praises. See, in the times to come, man, some of y'all ain't doing your cardio. See, to those of y'all doing cardio, man, y'all gonna have a leg up on everybody else. I try to do mine, but I'm old. Damn. Joints be hurt. What? Let's get back on the lesson, right? Brother, can you give me Psalms 110 and 1 through 7? Right? Because though our Messiah has been kept back a long season, when he shows up, man, it's going to be on and popping. And he's going to be leaving dead bodies everywhere. See, again, that's why I keep saying we got to do away with teddy bear Jesus. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of our warriors among blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, they don't believe in Christ simply because Christ has been portrayed like Ned Flanders. Because I ain't gonna lie, if I had to acknowledge the hundreds of years of slavery that we've been through, the brutality that we're shown every day, the deprivation that we have to live through every day, and then I'm told about some mystical, magical white man that's supposed to come and save us, and all he does is hug kids and hug children, I would not believe you. As a matter of fact, not only would I not believe you, I'd laugh in your face. Because if such a man existed, why is all this stuff going on now? But go ahead and get it.
Psalms chapter 110, verse 1. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thou people shall be willing in the days of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. From the womb of the morning thou hast the dew of thy youth.
See, in the day of the Israelites' power, when the Messiah returns and the Israelites are raised up, our people are going to be more than willing. You're going to have a lot of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians pretending like they serve God the whole time. But the reality is to serve God means to keep his commandments. Right? There's 613 commandments. Right? Keeping the Sabbath. Not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I don't know. Right? We're just out here to let blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians know that you are the Israelites. You are God's chosen people. Right? But see, more times than not, our people, they don't realize the real value of this knowledge until they need God. And that's when you have everybody talking about, well, God's got to make a way for me. He did. It's in the Bible. You didn't read it. Give me Proverbs 1 and 21. See, to the wicked who call upon the Most High God, you need to understand a way has been made for you. It's a way to suffer and to be destroyed and to be mocked. Because can you imagine the creator of all things going out of his way to provide mercy and wisdom to his people, and our people still don't get it? But see, not only is that common, it's tragically banal, right? Unoriginal, rudimentary, right? We'll go ahead and get it.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 21. She cried at the chief place of concourse, and the openings of the gates of the city. She uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called, ye refuse, and I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set and not all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
You see yourself in the sign, sir? Hey, again, mock when your fear comes. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you're the Israelites. You are that hard-headed, stiff-necked people who do nothing but ignore God, but then call upon him when you need him most. See, the sad part is when you read the Bible, a lot of times the Most High God was still entreated of us when we would call upon him. When you read the book of Judges, the Most High God continuously rose up heroes and judges to redeem his people and get them out of bondage, only for them to relapse and go right back into wickedness. That happened over and over and over again until the Most High God said, okay, that's it. I'm not sending you to jail anymore. Now I'm sending you to prison. So instead of you going into slavery for 7 years, for 18 years, now you're going to do a long stretch. You're going into slavery for 70 years under the Babylonians. Oh, you're still relapsing and being wicked? Cool. I'm going to send you into slavery under the Greeks for a few hundred years. Up, relapsed again, another couple hundred years under the Romans. Up, you relapsed again, 500 years. Got time for the Bible, sister? See you again. See again, the days are coming, man. And see, and that's exactly why we know that this little spot here, there's going to be a lot of people going, hey, where are the brothers at who are preaching about the Bible? Where are they at? They kept talking about some God called like Yahweh or something like that. Yeshua or something like that. Man, we need to talk to those brothers because they were talking about how to serve God. And I really never paid them no mind, but now that I'm in derision and I need help, where they at? She probably did. Yeah, shit, it don't bother me at all. That's cool. See, and again, the Bible says, resist ye the devil and he will flee from you. That's exactly what her evil ass did. She ran away. And her dog had way more sense than her. Her dog was fighting to hear these words. And I tell people all the time, more times than not, the animals know what's going on, and if it's for you, they try to hold you in that spot. It was before you showed up, brother. There was a woman, her dog literally laid on the ground and refused to move. And guess what? She still didn't listen. See, again, sometimes the Most High God goes above and beyond to make sure you hear his words. Yeah, and Balaam was beating the hell out of that donkey. Only for the Most High God to give the donkey the ability to speak. The question like, hey man, why you hitting me, bro? I'm saving your life. It's sad, man. Give me Isaiah 29. Isaiah 29 and 9 and read down. Y'all got time for the Bible today?
No, we're not waiting.
All right. Have a good one. Be safe, y'all. Are y'all Mexican by chance, or where y'all from?
We're from Mexico.
Okay.
From the valley.
From the valley? Okay. Likely from the tribe of Issachar. Y'all are Israelites. Keep God's commandments. Go ahead and get it.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your maidens, the seers, hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to you, that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed.
See, that's what's going to happen in the days to come. You're going to have a lot of people breaking out the old Bible that's been collecting dust on their toilet or on their coffee table, trying to make sense of what's going on in the earth. Going to those that they think are experts at the scriptures, saying, read this, I pray thee. And they're going to tell you, I cannot, for it is sealed. I don't understand. I don't understand the end time prophecies. That's what a lot of people are going to be saying. But the righteous men of the Lord, we're not going to be out here to give you the lowdown on what's going on anymore. And as a result, you're going to be left to your own devices. And many of you are going to have to watch your loved ones starve to death. Because those of you who won't receive correction when the Most High God is crying unto you, you're going to have to understand after death by pain. Read 2 Ezra 9 if you don't believe. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 12. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, for so much as the people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Therefore, behold.
So our people, because they believe in God according to their own understanding, the precepts of men, they don't know who God is. And their hearts are far from the Lord. Right? Because the Most High God only draws near to those who dwell in wisdom, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 28. But more times than not, our people don't understand that the Most High God is far from them because they believe themselves to be in good estate. Because they have a job and a check coming in. Some of our people never do the mental math. If you were Satan and you wanted somebody to basically not serve God and turn their back on God completely, why would you make them poor and destitute and in need of God at all times? The best thing to do is to give them the desires of their heart while they're doing wickedness. Put them at ease and make them believe they're doing the right thing while doing everything God told them not to do. And I'm going to tell you, man, we cooking up here with this Bible, man. Y'all just some hard-headed ass Israelites, bro. Yep, pride cometh before destruction. And see, more times than not, our people call upon God continuously. So you mean to tell me you call upon God all the damn time, but you ain't got enough time to listen to somebody talk about God? Or read a scripture? Like, man, I'm gonna give some of y'all the lowdown on how to deal with the Israelites. You don't want to hear us talk? Tell us just to read the Bible. Don't say nothing else. And guess what? We'll oblige you. No problem. I won't even talk to you. I'll just read the Bible. And guess what? I'll cut you worse that way than talking to you. You think you want to fight now? Wait till I read this Bible. But see, the issue is most of our people don't understand that the words of God are sharper than any two-edged sword. It describes the words of God being so sharp, it cuts down to the spirit. It'll have you awake at night going, man, yeah, man, what that brother said to me today, I got to come up with something for that. It'll have atheists picking up the Bible, reading through it just so they can try to come back. Only to be made a believer. That happens all the time with the truth. Somebody they'll give their testimony and talk about, man, I read the Bible and I didn't see anything that somebody cut me with, only to go back and see it myself. Most High God finally opened their eyes. Because they started to diligently seek the Lord. Diligently seek knowledge. See, that's exactly why we tell folks, man, if you want to reprove us and rebuke us, come out the scriptures. We're more than willing to change if the Bible says to do something. But if the Bible tells you to do something or not to do something, hey, it is what it is. But give me Amos chapter 8. And we're going to get back on the list. Give me Amos 8 and 11. Right?
Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. And they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst, that they swear by the sin of Samaria, and say, Thy God of Dan liveth, and the manner of Beersheba liveth. Even they shall fall and never rise up again.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's weird, man. It just says Bershit. Bershit and then Buzz after.
But then liveth. They just try to make me pronounce it and put it close together.
Eat that 1611, King. That's the white man's 1611. They impersonating black people. That's why they made the cover black. It's like it's fine. But we're trying to tell our people, man. You know what I'm saying? There's going to come a day where we're not going to be out here no more, man. That day is coming real soon, because I don't know if y'all know, but the war back in Iran, it's back on. Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. So Donald Trump saying that it's going to be Bedlam when they run out of fuel around here. Well, guess what? It's about to be Bedlam. Look that word up for me. B-E-L-A-M. Or B-E-D-L-A-M. Bedlam. B-E-D-L-A-M. Pandemonium. Hysteria.
Bedlam is a state or scene of wild uproar, confusion, or complete chaos.
So when people can't go to fill their tank up, you need to understand something. A lot of people, they're going to be going crazy because they can't get to their job. You're going to have some people going crazy because they realize my family that I moved away from on the East Coast, I can no longer drive out there. We're about to go back to the times where you're going to need a horse-drawn carriage to go anywhere. To those of y'all who have a bike, you got to be platinum status. You got brothers right now who get curved by women because they ain't got no whip. Don't worry about that. They gonna see you pedaling around on your bike, and she gonna be giving you googly eyes, trying to get a ride because her feet hurt. Most High God is about to flip things upside down. As a matter of fact, go to Isaiah 29 with me again. See, and that's one of the things that we keep trying to tell our people, man. The time to wake up is now, man. Don't wait until you need God to simply go, oh, God, yeah, I remembered you. Yeah, go ahead and help me out, please. Looks like I didn't hear that shit, man. like it. 32, Isaiah 32 and 9.
It's Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. Ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins.
So you're supposed to be in a state of repentance. Now I understand that, that was the way that we repented back in the day. It should be the way that we repent today, but it ain't. But you're supposed to be changing your ways and returning unto God and keeping his commandments. But see, in our pride, many of our people, they walk by with their chin up going, I don't need that. I don't need that wisdom. I don't need God. I got it. Keep that same energy. Because you about to be tested. Like that woman who walked up and said she was God. Well, God, you about to be put through your paces. Hope you've been hitting the gym. And a woman like that, ain't no man around her. She all alone. And that dog looks like he ain't cooperating at all. He doing what he want to do. See, again, the Bible cries out to all of our people directly. It cries out to the men. It cries out to the women, the careless daughters of Zion. But see, the reality is, the Most High God is only going to knock so long before he goes ahead and sends his son. At that point, you are where you're at. But King, we're almost done. We're still in Psalms 110, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that. 1 through 7. Go ahead.
Start back at the top. So preaching.
Oh, preaching about the scriptures, about God's chosen people.
The Black Hebrew Israelites.
Well, there's Hispanics and natives on our side too.
Yeah, I know. So I'm not saved though, right?
Well, it depends on who your father is.
Yeah, I'm not native.
Well, just because you might come from Europe doesn't mean you're not an Israelite.
I don't know how I would tie that back to strictly English heritage.
No, well, are you familiar? As a matter of fact, I'll show you better than I can tell you. Who's this man right here? Right there in the center.
I don't know who is it.
That's King James. Who's that? That's his son, grandson.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
You'll have to tell me the whole history.
Sure. So that's King James. He's a black man. And that's his son, who they called Black Boy. That was his nickname.
King James is black,
Yes. So was all the aristocracy during the Byzantine Empire.
but he was like white as white because he was Scotland, right?
No. Who are the real Scots?
I don't know.
The real Scots were pushed out of Scotland by a man named Oliver Cromwell. They were sent to the west coast of Africa, to the northern reaches of Africa, where we were in slavery to the Muslims, and they were sent to the Caribbean.
Okay.
If I were to ask you, where did the language Gaelic go? It went with the people into slavery. And the people down in Jamaica, they speak a language called Patois. And phonetically, it's identical to Gaelic. That's where the language went. So the real Scots and Irish are so-called black people.
So my question then is, where is the division of people who could be saved and not be saved? Like, where is that truly at?
It's according to your bloodline.
No, I understand that, but where?
In the Bible? Because we can get it out the Bible. That's
Well,
right.
I know you're going to go back to Abraham, and I get all of that. And I understand your argument's going to be that your interpretation of Paul's letters for both Jew and Gentile is that you think the Gentiles were also Israelites.
Well, how are they not, though? When Paul said it in his own letters that we are Gentiles when we serve idols. Have you heard that?
Yeah, he did say he absolutely did say that, because the Gentiles were worshiping idols. They were Roman soldiers worshiping idols. They were people from other nations that were worshiping these false gods, just as the Israelites had moved out of Egypt, where the Egyptians were worshiping false idols as well.
No, but where did Paul say the natural-born Gentile is going to receive the new covenant? Because that's how we're going to be saved, right? Under the new covenant, under Christ?
Correct.
So, who's the new covenant for? Give me Hebrews 8 and 8. Because if the heathen aren't in the new covenant, then even if I wanted to say that the heathen could be saved, they can't.
That's my question though. Who is the heathen?
The heathen are natural born, like Gentiles. Somebody who was literally born of a father or a bloodline of like Esau, Elam, Ishmael, any heathen nation, Ham. But see, the Israelites are scattered to all nations, so
Well, but Ham's so far before. Ham's before Abraham.
but his
He's well before Abraham, right?
but yeah, well, sort of Noah, right? That's Noah's sons, right?
Yeah, no, he was cursed for looking upon his father's nakedness, right?
Sure.
Right.
But my question is,
So who became the Hamites?
you remember the Egyptians?
Right.
The real Egyptians got pushed out of the land of Egypt into South Sudan in
Yeah.
South Africa. So those people, like the Maasai tribe and all those people, known for being like 7 feet tall, and they're nomadic cattle herders who
Correct.
bathe in cow piss, all that.
Yeah, the
That-
Nephilim.
that's literally who they call the Nephilim,
Yeah.
because those are just people. They're not the Nephilim as people say they're like angels mixed with people. That's
I mean, that's a hard piece of scripture to try to put together, especially when you go all the way back to Genesis, right?
well, Genesis, I believe 12 is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Genesis 6, where it talks about giants being in the land, but that means men of renown. For instance,
Yeah. So what's the definition of man of renown? Like, where's that? Like,
So-
what is that?
a man who has fame,
Who has what?
fame or notoriety. So say like say Shaquille O'Neal,
Yeah.
he goes and he has a son in the land of China with a Chinese woman.
Okay.
His son, chances are, is going to be almost as big as him, if not larger, and is probably going to have a lot of the same skill set that his father has.
Right.
It's going to be really easy for him to be the best basketball player who ever lived in China, as opposed to where he has plenty of competition. And that's exactly what that's saying in Genesis 6.
Yeah, but there's a difference in the language there too. Though. Like, go look up the
Yeah,
Genesis.
yeah, go to Genesis 6.
Go to that Genesis. I can't remember exactly where it's at.
And I'm going to show you somewhere else in the Bible where it's equally talked about in the same light, and it's in Wisdom of Solomon.
Well, I'm just talking about how they talk about the merging. Because it's what do they say? The sons of God with the daughters of man, or is it sons of man with daughters of God?
It's the daughters of God.
Yeah.
Daughters of God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the daughters of man,
Daughters
the sons
of
of
man
God.
with the sons of
yeah,
God.
yeah, don't answer.
Which makes it kind of confusing because it's used differently elsewhere in the Bible. Right.
Well,
So that's where it's opened up to interpretation, where people are like, oh, I could see where this could be the sons of God, where the angels that came down and then birthed these whatever hybrid creatures. I don't know that I buy into that, but I understand where people are trying to.
you've read 1 Corinthians 15, right? Where Paul talks about the different types of flesh. There's a flesh of beasts, a flesh of men, and a flesh of angels. And he says that they can't intermix. So,
Yeah.
yeah, go and get that. We ain't got to read all of it.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men.
Hold on, became mighty what?
Became mighty men.
Why aren't they called angels? Well, but how would an angel give rise to a child that has flesh?
Yeah, I don't have. A clue.
And I'm just want you to.
Yeah, no, I don't have a clue.
And if the angels didn't
Trust,
have flesh,
trust
how
me,
did
there's
he
things in the Bible I don't understand how to make. Okay,
And
that's
if the
fine.
angels
Slap
didn't have
together,
flesh,
right?
how did he lay with the woman who has flesh? If you're saying because they had flesh, that you'll be saying that
I
the
totally
angels
agree.
didn't.
I'm not 100% sold on that. I know plenty of people push that. I'm not 100% sold on that. That's one of those things where I constantly read studies and I'm like, I don't know. I don't necessarily go down that rabbit hole. I just kind of think these were some evil folks.
Well, so those would be the Adamites, the sons of Adam and Eve. So, are you familiar with regeneration in the Bible? Remember when Christ was talking about John the Baptist, he said, if thou shalt receive it, John is Elijah?
Okay.
So that's regeneration. When you die, your spirit returns to God. You rest. We're just going to read it because explaining it is one thing. Let's read it. Give me 2 Ezra 14 to 34. Right? So whenever you die, your spirit goes to God. You receive your judgment. You rest for about 3 to 4 generations, and then you return. That's why if you read Exodus 20 and 5, the Most High God literally talks about judgment being passed on until the 3rd and 4th generation. Sure. Real quick.
Second Ezra, chapter 14, verse 34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
Give me Exodus 25. Right? So right here we have Ezra saying that you live, you die, you receive judgment, you rest and return.
I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying, because Ezra's Old Testament, Old Covenant, you die, you rest, those bodies were risen after Christ is crucified, right? Bodies were risen.
No, no.
Yeah.
No, because where do the extra spirits come from?
No.
No, hold on. Hold on before we go there. Let's think for a second.
Hold on. Is it in Luke where the bodies have risen
No,
from the ground?
you're talking about the second death.
Correct.
But the thing is that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
So
Because hold on a second, because if you're an individual and you're not a regenerated spirit, where did your spirit come from when the creation ended on the seventh day?
So he is talking about the new heaven and the new earth.
I don't know where you got that
New
from.
earth.
Where'd you get that from?
The new heaven and new earth?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Right. That's what Ezra is prophesying towards.
No,
Right?
because in chapter 7 he mentions, and we're talking about second Ezra, by the way, not Ezra. Have you read the Apocrypha? Okay,
Some of them.
Christ is mentioned by name literally in chapter 7,
Yeah.
and it talks about the resurrection.
Yeah.
So this has nothing to do with that. This is just talking about when you die, this is the process that you go through, and then you live again.
Okay.
Right? And I'm gonna go to Wisdom of Solomon 4 for me. Because I want to show you that thing about giants.
How about you, brother?
Giants in the land in those days. Hold on. Look up, there were giants in the land during those days, and it's spelled with a Y. G-Y-A-N-T. Yeah, it should be in Wisdom of Solomon. I thought it was in 2. I know it's mentioned. It's mentioned twice. Just gotta find it. Let me know if you find this. Put Apocrypha after, because it's going to direct you to the KJV. That works. Yeah, it's in Baruch. 14 and 6? I'll wait on it. Yeah, no wonder I couldn't find it. Yeah, of course, I see it right there. Of course.
Samsonite, so close.
Yeah, it's just, damn. But yeah, go ahead and get it. Actually. And then we'll get that one in Baruch after.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 6. For in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world, governed by thy hand, escaped in a weak vessel, and left to all ages a seed of generation.
So this is talking about, of course, Noah, right? Being delivered in the weak vessel, and the giants in the land were the Israelites who had, well, not the Israelites, the sons of Adam, who had come in and gone in onto the daughters of everyone else. Because when it comes to the people,
Sons of Seth.
well, I mean, you could say the sons of Seth, but
Well, no, not Seth. Canaan. They would be Canaanites.
well, no, because so you have the Canaanites who are the sons of Ham, then you have Cain, who is the brother of Abel.
Right.
So if you say a Canaanite in that context, that's only one tribe of people. So we call them the Adamites because they're the sons of Adam along the chosen line, like Arphaxad, Peleg, Reu, all those different people, right, who are of the chosen lineage, right? Those were the people who were, like some of our brethren had defected and gone off and went into the daughters of these men.
So are you saying there's other lineages outside of Adam?
There was until the flood came.
So how did those people come about? Were they
Sure.
created?
Yeah, go to Genesis 2. So when did the creation end for people?
After Eve, as far as I know, Eve's the only other person that was created.
Okay, let's read it. So start at Genesis 1 and 26. As a matter of fact, start at 23.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 23. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
Keep going.
And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
So far we have animals, right? Keep going.
And God said, let us make man in our image.
Make who?
Let us make man in our image.
What day are we on? Verse 23.
Yeah, the fifth day.
Fifth day. Right, so keep going at 26.
And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
So we're on the fifth day, and we already have mention of male and female. So man was already created, and it was lots of men and women. That's why when not Adam and Eve, but Abel and Cain, or Seth and Cain, went and took wives, where did they take wives from?
Yeah, I don't have good answers to that either. The only thing I can think of is that was already within their commandment to go forth and multiply, but it still also doesn't make any sense because they don't have the wives.
So, and that's why understanding that on the fifth day, that's when men and women were created. Now let's go to Genesis 3 and start at, as a matter of fact, read 1 and 2, and then we're going to go down to verse 7.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast.
Guys, I said 3.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and
Calm down.
thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
Yeah. So here we have the seventh day. Men and women have already been created. So let's see the creation of Eve, right? Or Adam and then Eve.
Verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the river went out.
So what you have here is now you have Adam being formed of the dust of the ground, and into him being breathed the breath of life. Now, do you think Adam is being made from literal dirt? Or is this a metaphor of some type?
I would say it's been made.
Okay. So get me the gates there of language there, black onto the ground. Ain't that like Jeremiah 14? I believe it's 14 too. We're going to keep reading this, but I want to show you that metaphor for being in the dirt means that you're lowly. Lowly. Like you've been put in a low estate. And then I'm going to show you what the breath of life is. That's in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7.
Okay, I was chewing on something for a second there too.
Okay.
When we first started. Genesis 1:26.
Okay.
So you all are King James only, right?
No, we do it with your translation.
I would King James. So you all are not Trinitarian.
No.
So Almighty High God.
Latriism, right?
Where's Holy Spirit?
Well, the Holy Spirit comes from God. That's his wisdom. And we're going to cover that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because it popped in my head, I knew you all weren't Trinitarian.
Okay.
So, Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make man in our image. What was he referring to?
So that term for God is Elohim, and it's plural. It means divine ones, rulers, or judges. So who is, okay, so this, I love teaching this, right? Who is the first creation of the Most High God? Who is the only creation of the Most High God? Give me Hebrews 1. As long as you stay here, I'm going to take you through it all. The reason why, and here's the thing, because it's not about you being black or white. Because you're Irish, right? Irish Scottish. As far as you know.
I'm Welsh.
What, Welsh too? Yeah. King James is king of Wales. But what we're going to do is we're going to read the scriptures and see if they bear witness, right? Okay. Yeah, start off.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, by whom...
That's it. So when it says worlds, right, that's plural.
Okay.
So when it says worlds, it's the word cosmos, meaning a group of like things.
Okay.
But it also says that the Son of God made them. Right? Read verse
Right.
one more time. Just so,
Yeah, no.
You got it? Okay.
I don't disagree with you on that.
but here's the thing. God didn't make everything. His Son did.
Because he's three in one. Right?
No. Because when Christ said, I go unto my Father, he's greater than I. What you talking about?
So, three distinct persons in essence
Uh-huh.
with one being, one God. That is my view on this. Because how does John start?
Well, I mean, let's get to it. I can't recall. Now, it says the word was with God, and then it says the word was God. What are the words for God there?
In the beginning, take it step by step. In the beginning was the Word. Who's the Word?
Well, the word is Christ.
That's Christ. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God.
Right. Did you know the Israelites are gods too? So, wait, ain't that... Wait. Didn't the Pharisees and said, John 10 and 34 literally says, isn't it written in your law, your gods?
Where are we at, John?
Go to John 10, but let's cover this real quick. We'll get that in a second, right? Because when we say that the word was God, and you say in the beginning, I thought the Most High God existed forever. He has no beginning. He's always been.
Yeah, that's John 1:1 and 3 of 9.
No, it's not, because in the beginning, that means that's the start of something. So how can you both be ever existing and then have a beginning?
Come on, where was it going to? John 10?
Yeah, go to John 10
And go to verse
34. Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods? So when you read the word God, it doesn't always mean the Most High God. You have the Elohim. You have what's the word for Lord? Adonai. Abraham was called Adonai or Lord by Sarah. That doesn't make him the Most High God. That's why in the Greek you have the word Theos. And then in the Hebrew, you have the word, or the tetragrammaton, Yahweh, or Yahweh as some people say. Do you know where Christ pulled that from in John 10 and 34?
Somewhere in
Psalms 82 and 6. Right? So the Israelites are literally the judges of the earth. Remember in the book of 1 Corinthians where it said the saints shall judge the earth?
Yeah.
That's what that's talking about. The saints are the gods. Right? But when it go to Colossians 1. Go to Colossians 1. Because when we say that Christ is the only creation of the Most High God, the Bible affirms that, because he's the one who then went and created everything else.
Yeah. Where am I going to?
Go to Colossians 1 and start at 14. No, start at 15.
Colossians chapter 1, verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature? For by him were all things created, that are in heaven, and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones, or dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
So that's Christ.
Right.
So if everything is created by Christ, it's not that the Most High God isn't responsible for it, but he didn't do it himself. That's like if I were a manager and you were my employee and I said, hey, go build a car, and you built the car, don't I say that we did it? We can take credit for that? If I'm a really horrible manager, I'll say I did it. Even though you did all the footwork. Because if that's not the case, you still got to explain why the term for God in Genesis 1 is plural.
I think it explains itself, like, because there's three of them, because it's a trinity. That is what it means. That's why they're saying let's go make it our image. He is a singular Trinitarian God.
So I have a question.
With three essences.
How is it our image when, because you want to include the Holy Spirit, correct?
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit is called a female. So God is a female,
Do we not have male and female?
but God is a man of war.
But do we not have male and female?
Collectively, but we are separate.
We're females created.
Yes, but the Most High God is not a female.
Females created.
That has no bearing on the question.
So who's in the created?
Well, I mean, they're created to be the B to the A, right? Basically A and B. They're different aspects of a greater whole, but the Most High God is not both.
Are they created?
Well, obviously the Most High God. Being bipedal, having thought. Those are things that make you in the image of the Most High, but that doesn't mean God is a hermaphrodite.
Oh, trust me, I'm not saying that.
But the thing is, though, that logic, it leads to that. That's why you have people walking around, they believe in the Baphomet. The goat god that's both male and female. That's where that comes from.
Well, because they fall into the satanic traps.
But here's the thing, though. What we're talking about right now is Christ is the first creation. So I have a question. Roll with me for a second. Who are they that go with Christ everywhere that he goes? No, I'm talking about everywhere that he goes.
What are we talking about?
Go to Revelation 14. Oh, yeah, there's 5 things about Revelation in it. Shit, I'm up to chapter 5, man. It's almost gone,
That's
bro.
how you know you've been flipping hard, brother.
I think half my Psalms just gone. But yeah, go to 14 and so go to where is it? These are things that fall on that. This is where we go with 14 and 4. As a matter of fact, start at 1. We need that.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were a new song, before the throne, and before the 4 beasts, and the elders. And no man could learn the song but 144,000. These are the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they were virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
So that's the elect. So when you read Genesis 1 and 1, you're talking about Christ and 144,000. And this is why the Most High God has to send his men out to these corners. Because if you think that it was just 2 people butt naked in a forest, they ate a piece of bad fruit and got condemned forever. Come on, like seriously? All the metaphors in the Bible in the book of Genesis is when it starts being straightforward and serious. Okay. Yeah, it's just there's so many pitfalls when you believe that Adam and Eve were the first people ever. Even though the Bible straightforwardly tells you that the end of creating man and woman, that ended on the 5th day. And on the 7th day, Adam and Eve were created. See, this is exactly why blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, your teachers have been sent out to these corners to bring you back into remembrance of who your God is. Because if you listen to the Christian church, they're going to have you believe that all you got to do is say you love Jesus and that's enough. See, and I'm going to tell you, that's why, again, when you read Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, we see it all the time. Y'all believe in the Bible? Okay, what tribe you come from, minute brother and sister? Do y'all know? Oh man, that's a shame. That's a shame. Because if I ask you, how are you righteous in the eyes of God, do you know? Probably don't have a clue. It's in Deuteronomy 6:25. Keep us coming. See, and again, man, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you looking for the magic weapon to make the white man flee from you. It's this Bible and the correct understanding of it. But because you insist on listening to his breakdowns, you are ill-equipped to handle any foe, no matter how weak. See, and ain't it funny? When people want to say that the Trinity is true, they just have to insert it in there, no matter how stupid it sounds. No, it's self-explanatory. Is it? Because when I go throughout the Bible, it seems to contradict your understanding of it. Yeah, it explains itself, as it doesn't explain itself. Like, oh, okay. See, and again, that's why I told him, it's like, man, I'm not going to tell you you're not an Israelite. I'm going to see if your spirit bears witness. And it didn't. I know. Oh, when he showed curiosity for the Bible, everybody gets one. You know, any good crack dealer will tell you the first one's free. I talked to him before a long time ago, too. And he took an absolute beating. I was using him as a teaching tool. I think that's the same guy. Tall, lanky, Edomite type. But he's still curious about the Bible. And all they're testing is to see, can everybody be saved? That's all they're testing for. And again, I have to pose the question, how in the hell are the assailants and the oppressors going to be saved with their victims? Can somebody answer that for me, please? But see, when your ways please the Lord, and you resist the devil, he flees from you. Every time. Give me Proverbs 28:1. You're about to get the rest of the lesson, ain't much left. And a bird took a crap on my nose, man. Did a bird pick on me? No. I felt something hit me in the back.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
So the wicked, when the words start coming out, they start getting cut, they run, man. See, that's why I be trying to tell people, man, don't make it personal. Just read the Bible. Don't make it personal. Don't hold on to your own private interpretation, because the scriptures tell you right out, it's not for private interpretation. Hell, you're not even supposed to be just picking up the Bible and rolling with your own understanding as you read it. You're supposed to go to a teacher. When Philip went to the Ethiopian eunuch, and he asked him while he was reading the scroll of Isaiah, understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, how could I, except some man teach me? But that's where pride comes in. Pride starts telling you, well, you don't need anybody. You can read. You got two working eyes. You got it. And then when you show up with madness and you get rebuked, all of a sudden you want to get in your feelings. And here's the thing. Just because you can read the words don't mean you understand them. That's why the moment I ask, hey, why is God plural in Genesis 1:1? All of a sudden, well, I don't know that part. Oh, okay. So where'd all these men and women come from on the fifth day? Well, I don't know. Okay. When you ask them, hey, what does it mean to be raised out of the dust? Well, don't it mean to be made out of mud, literally? No. As a matter of fact, get that in Wisdom of Solomon 7 real quick. Yeah, what you're telling me is Pinocchio is real. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me Geppetto is the literal Most High God. That's what you're telling me. 7, yes, sir. See, some of y'all believing in this Christian doctrine, you don't understand how foolish it makes you sound. until somebody reads it back to you. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, start at 24.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passes and goes through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of God, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her.
So my question is, how could Adam and Eve stay in the Garden of Eden when it was the wisdom that put them there and kept them there? And then when they transgressed, they became defiled. So how could you stay somewhere where the Most High God tells you right out through Solomon that you have to be rejected when you become defiled? See, again, if your understanding is one thing in the scriptures, it should bear out throughout the book. That's why, again, when people start talking about the Trinity and all these different things, I have to ask you, Christ told you, I go unto my Father, he is greater than I. My Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Why did he say these things? Why would he say those things if he, in fact, is the Most High God? That's like writing an email to yourself. It's stupid. And say. But see, this is what happens when you have the understanding of your enemies. And here's the thing, he's custodian Israel. No, I'm not the one to close the door. Shit, I'm on like shit. I'm closing it just to be cautious. But see, 2 Ezra 3:36 tells you, Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the evil. So I'm going to see if the Spirit bears witness. If not, hey man, you said it, I did. You're a he. Yep, can't come in. It'd be like that. But let's finish up. Yeah, what time is it, man? Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up. Give me Revelation. Yeah, because I think we were going to close out. I want to get that. Now, give me Revelation 22 and 14 through 15. Right? Because it's been a good lesson. There's only one scripture to get. And if y'all want it, if you want to read it on your own, it's 2 Ezra in the GNT, chapter 13, 21, 26. Right? Where it breaks down the Israelites who are going to be basically with Christ when he returns. Right? Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Hey man, that bitch sure was lying. But either way, y'all, all halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises be unto Yahweh, the name of the Son Yahweh Shai. From Yasharal.
From Yasharal.
And Mawaf Lababal.
Mawaf Lababal.
That means destruction to Babylon for those of y'all who don't speak Hebrew. All right, y'all. Shalom, y'all. Peace.